All right. Well, thanks for having me here. I'm Dean Jenkins of Follow Me Trades. Appreciate the invitation, David, and traders for being here. And yeah, David's posting up. Go ahead and put in the symbols that you would like to have analyzed. And I'm going to try something a little different today. I've been experimenting. I've been doing a lot over the last, probably a year with just like everybody else with AI and how can it help. And so for today, I'm going to do a quick analysis and then I'm going to ask AI what they think of the trade. So hopefully you find that interesting and useful and maybe something you could apply in your trading going forward. So that should be exciting. All right, so we got a couple symbols already. Here's Jan and EEFT. And this is what? Euronet. I don't recognize the symbol, so I'm not exactly sure what they do. Okay, but I'm looking at a chart, and I got roughly um, a year's worth of data here. This is Thinkorswim. I'm looking at a daily chart, and it's pretty choppy. In this time frame, there's no real trend. If we zoom out, um, doesn't get much better, does it? There was a downtrend there, and then now it's just kind of a tightening, and then now um, expanding channel. So these are tough. Now you can trade a channel, and with just the thesis that hey, from the bottom to the top, right? It's gonna find support and then reverse up to some upper boundary, and then when it hits there, it's going to reverse down. So you can play it back and forth several times. And you can see my indicators on the chart here. I got this heavier white line is a 200-day moving average. The lighter one is a 50-day moving average. I've got a simple version of the Ichimoku cloud, and then down here I've got a price oscillator. That's it in terms of indicators. I do have up here what's the volume count so far today, and the session just closed, so it was for the day 616 shares traded. So that's kind of just above my minimum threshold for liquidity. So um, yeah, it's a tough one to trade unless you want to do a channel. Um, Jan, was there something in particular you had a thought there in terms of like going long, going short, short term, long term? What were you, or is there some background like wow, this is going to happen and this is going to open things up? That's always helpful if you have some context. And if you're going to type that, or if you're getting ready, I'm gonna show the little AI hack here on this. And so what I do, I've learned recently, maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't, but ChatGPT can interpret images with an incredible degree of accuracy. Like as if you're trying to go through and configure TradeStation or Thinkorswim or do something in Excel, you can take a screenshot, post it in ChatGPT and go, what do I do next here? And it'll take you, I'll click here, do this. It's freaking stunning. And it can also analyze a chart. Now, um, they have a warning right on the screen. Um, don't trust it, basically. So use it to get ideas, but don't bet the farm on it. But it's coming back with some pretty interesting stuff. And so let me give you an example here. I'm just going to set this up on this one. But again, I don't really know anything about. Let's see what it says. My helper. This is EEFT. So I'm gonna run it and then see what it says. I think this will be pretty interesting. So see what you guys think. So here's what ChatGPT Model 5 says about EEFT. Says trading below the 50-day and the uh, below the 50, signaling a bearish posture in the medium to long. HMO clouds red, resistance, negative trend, negative momentum readings. Overall technical picture depicts weakness with no visible bottom. Um, Revenue in line, EPS missed, balance sheet solid, got some M&A, analyst ratings, moderate buy, setup ideas for long. Break and close above 100, and the target zone would be 110 to 115. Continued decline if you wanted a short trade, if it goes below recent support at 90. So we look at that. So we'll break above 100 up here, right around here. Could trigger a long trade they set up to here, and then a break below 90 and look out below. So I kind of agree with that analysis and what I said up front, in terms of, yeah, not super clear trends, doesn't have like a Elliott wave presentation or something like that. I think that still holds. So yeah. And I'm not going to trade this one because it doesn't really meet my criteria in terms of, hey, this is a high probability setup that I understand that I have an edge on. But if you are interested in trading it, there's my feedback and the thoughts from ChatGPT. All right, Jan also had PEGA, and this is Pega. And again, I don't know who it is. They traded 933,000 shares today. Zoom out. So they haven't been around. Oh, yeah, they have. Never mind that. Um, but it looks like that was uh, right after the pandemic was pretty high and then slid way, way down, from high around 75 down to 20 bucks. Now it's been climbing out of that. So this is, well, um, it it says it could be an Elliott wave with this big move up and then a correction and then a follow through. But this correction may have been too big. Let's measure it. What you do is you're looking for the fib retracement from the very beginning back here, and this would be wave 1, 2 up to here. And yeah, so that was a wave 4. So this was all 3 up, and then 4, as long as it stays above this red disqualifying line, 76.4, it is a valid wave 4. And so this was 5. And after 4 ended, you could predict where 5 is going using these same points from here to here and into the bottom of 4. And it said the target zone for wave 5 was between these green lines. Well, it hit it. So then after you get into the target zone, what happens next? Typically, an ABC correction in the opposite direction. And so we've got a pretty clear A and then a B, and now a couple down red bars indicating a C leg going lower. So that's my analysis. So now let's see what our friend says. They say I'm full of it. All right, new. May agree with me. Copy that. Come over here. While I'm setting it up, anybody got any feedback on using ChatGPT? Are you finding that interesting? Uh, Curious. Okay. And this was PEGA. Here it comes. Breakdown. Below the 50. Chartmill says it's got a 7 out of 10 technical rating. It's above the 200. Support at 50, resistance around 53. Swing trade scenarios. Daily close above 53. Target 55. So that's not very much, right? That's $2 on a $50 stock, 5%. Bearish, trigger below 50, target 49 to 48. So that's not very good either, is it? So just based on my analysis that, if anything, it's probably going down. And the 200 is a potential support area, and ChatGPT saying, yeah, if you get a trigger for a long trade, couple percent. If you get a trigger for a short trade, couple percent. So doesn't seem like a an exciting candidate for me. Um, so that's the thought on PGA. All right, we got Kathy would like to look at BMNR. So that looks like it IPO'd back here. And uh, it's trading at pretty big volume. So BMNR, now I'm curious. I don't see a corporate logo or anything. So if I want to know what a company is, here's a hack you might enjoy. I've found just it's simple. Who are they? What do they do? I like Yahoo Finance. Some people would say, does Yahoo still exist? Actually, they do, and they give you a really nice, quick, free, no login needed company information here. Bitmine. So I'll bet they got to do with crypto. What do you think? Um, and so let's go look at the profile. And Bitmine operates blockchain technology, primarily in US, third-party equipment and mining digital asset coins and tokens. Okay, that's all I really needed to know. Okay, pretty new issue. Came out of the gate with a very narrow trading range, and then there was some catalyst, and GoWammo went from 20 to 160, and then fell back off a cliff, and now it's kind of, found a support, headed up, heading down. So it's a little bit volatile. Now these moves, like when we were looking at the last one, I said, yeah, gosh, any expected moves aren't going to be really impressive percentage wise. Now, this one is a different case because even, if you just measure from, I think this is going to pan out from here, this current price to the last high, look at the price difference from 48 to 71. That's like a $23 price difference on a $48 stock. That's 50%, rough numbers. So that is pretty cool, and it trades at huge volatility, um, or not volatility, liquidity. So I like that. So that one could be interesting. And what I would look for here would be a long signal, right? There's something, that overall this thing is biased to the upside with this move up, and then after, some profit taking and whatever, another move up that, right? These are the impulsive moves, right? And then it drifts down. So I would look for some kind of signal for it to go long. And the signal I like is, some, it could be a short-term candlestick pattern, uh, an engulfing candle, um, uh, something like that. Ideally, a small high, higher low, new high, right? But boy, if you can tap in and it's going to go if you tap in somewhere in the low 50s and it's going to go back up to 70, that's a pretty nice trade. Um, so that is my thinking on it. Now let's see what my friend says. Oops, let me scale the chart right. So screenshot, be good. Okay, and we go back here to our good friend. Upload the screenshot. Go grab my prompt. BMNR, I think was the symbol. And survey says, oh, did I hit it? All right. And Kathy said Tom Lee doing an ETH treasury. Okay. So volatile post-run breakout pullback. Pull back here. Yeah, we saw that. Uh, Clearly choppy, but high volatility, speculative interest. Aggressively pivoted from Bitcoin mining to building one of the largest Ethereum treasuries. That must have been the news that drove that huge spike. Crypto NAV discount play. Management announced a $1 billion stock buyback plan. Well, not profitable. Swing trade. If you believe in the overall thesis here, entry near 47.48, target 55 to 60, then potentially to 75. So that's kind of the same thing I was saying. Like, percentage wise, that's huge, right? Short, if it breaks 45, then it probably is going to break big time down to 35, which is still a pretty big percentage move. So high risk, high conviction swing instrument, which if you're swing trading, you kind of want something that moves, right? So, and GPT and I asked it to is combining some fundamental or background information with technical analysis, which is I kind of like that. I want to know what I'm trading and I want to know what's moving it, and then and then the rest of the cues I'll take from the chart. Okay, so that was BMNR. Poncho Mike wants to look at you. Hey, Kathy, you are welcome. So, Kathy, did you find that the AI inclusion here interesting, helpful, or am I wasting time? Be honest. Okay, good, good. All right. For Poncho Mike, you and you is, I know I've looked at it before, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is, but we have our lookup friend here. So, Unity software. Well, I think Unity software is probably involved in software. What do you think? Unity software, a platform to create and grow games and interactive experiences for mobile phones. Okay, software, games, got it. 10 million, 10.8 million shares today. It's been on a pretty good run. It's past earnings. I bet they did okay. Earnings was a 27-cent loss. And they came, oh, look at that. That's a big beat. So they were projected to lose 27 cents and they came in with 18 cents profit. So that's a big beat. And it drifted up since then from post earnings date, um, 34 up to just about hitting 40. So that's a big percent move. $6 on a $34 stock. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, well, what about now? Let's just pull out, look at the big picture. Well, they did really well during and right after the pandemic, didn't they? And then it's drifted down. And this is what I like to call a bottom feeder because it found a bottom and then it just chugged along. And now it's breaking out. And you can clearly see the breakout right here. Right? If you just take a mean between these last couple highs, last one, two, three, actually four. So between here, 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 and here, right? Those were kind of resistance areas. And now it is broken out. So this is what I look for. Something new is happening, right? As it is doing this. Now, it's done it in the past. There's some highs back here that are potential resistance areas. We got here, and we got here. And just to look back. Yes, that was really a different channel. Okay. But those are, it reversed from those levels before it could again, so it's good to keep them in mind. What I like as it broke out, it's now making a series high, higher, low, new high. A little bit volatile, but that pattern, high, higher, low, new high, is the definition of an uptrend. A downtrend is low, lower high, new low. So this is currently in an uptrend. After making that high, it's pulled back. Assuming this stays above that low, that'll be higher high, lower low, and then presumably maybe another higher high. So you just wait for the reversal. And maybe it's today because today was a pretty good up day. We made a high, a couple days down, reversing now. So if it's open tomorrow in the green, that could be, yeah, it could be a trigger and let's go. And I would set an initial target. Today it's at 36, but tomorrow say it's 37 or something. Initial target at 43, maybe a stretch target to 49. And the stop would be under the last reversal. That's a support area. So we just red. Red is the stop. So that is my thought on you. I kind of like it. So if it opens tomorrow and it's up during the day and it hasn't run off into outer space, right? The reward to risk is still good. And we evaluate the reward to risk this way. What we do is we go, I said, hey, tomorrow, can get my scale so you kind of see what I'm talking about, right? So tomorrow, if it's still up a little bit, in this ish range here, we'll just make that a blue line. That would be my entry. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and edit this line to make it the target. So what I'm talking about here is super clear. Okay. So let's say, yeah, tomorrow we come in, take a look at you, and go, yeah, look, it's up. It's an up day. Looks like this pattern's going to continue. The uptrend's going to continue. We got a green Ichimoku cloud. We got positive momentum, right? It's coming up off the bottom. It's out of that channel. All, check, check, check. It looks really good. So we come in tomorrow. Yeah, it's right around this entry level. So, okay, let's take the trade because right now the reward to risk on the trade is solid, and so the reward is, from our entry price to our target, and the risk is from our entry price to the stop. Because if it hits the stop, we're going to close the trade. And I don't mean to imply us, everybody's, oh, I don't use stop market orders. I don't know, but, your money, your account, you manage it your way. I don't use stop loss, stop marker. Whereas I mostly trade with options. So if I'm going to go long on this, I'm going to go buy, like a 30, 45 day out, one or two strikes in the call option. But all my cues are taken off of this chart. So if price hits the stop price level, then I'll just go close the option position. Okay. But what this does is tells me, wait, if it's below this line, it just went below support. That uptrend has failed. Get out of it, right? And it allows me to do this ratio because right now, this distance, entry to stop, entry to target, this is over 2 to 1. So 2 to 1 is a great reward to risk. I like it to be 3, 4, 5 to 1. But what I don't want is 1 to 1 or even less. Right? What does that mean? It means, you can lose just as much as you could win, right? Or worse. So this all looks good. So now let me not share my thoughts with AI, and we'll just see what kind of thoughts it has. It may completely disagree with me, but I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of a new thing for me in the last few months to understand that it could analyze a picture, right, a screenshot with that degree of accuracy. So that changes everything. Three minutes. Wow, that went fast. I didn't get to all of them. I apologize. But we got to see what the thing says here about you. Price movement, level interest, resistance around 36, support 34. RSI, I don't care. Pull back, earnings. Just some kind of background stuff. You can read that if you're interested. What does it say about the playbook? Long. Breakout above 36.8. What did I say? Right, yeah, right about there, right? I have my line above here to 36.28, so 36.8. Yeah, we're in agreement on that. Stop loss below the recent support. Same thing I said. Target short term 39 to 40. I had it at, yeah, about 44, 43, 44. Yeah, yeah. Medium term, yeah, right in there. So yeah, kind of an agreement. Bearish setup that breaks below the support level. So actually in agreement, which it would be pretty nice. And I think if you use this approach, like I say, don't take AI's uh, guidance and just go do it blindly. Develop your own, either before or after, but use it as an assistant and maybe to augment your thinking, and it may raise some issues or some ideas that you hadn't thought of before. So yeah, I think cool stuff. And look, I just nailed it. 1:30. So back to you, David.